to jump into your core beliefs about discipline. And as we try to address challenging behaviors, sometimes our core beliefs can get in the way of effective discipline. So, your core beliefs are strong neural connections, and they usually start in childhood, probably due to a stressful event or trauma. These core beliefs stay with you through your lifetime and they form your identity. And here's what's really fascinating about them. Every single day, you unconsciously look for evidence to affirm them and you hold tightly to them. So, what creates core beliefs is the first of all the perception of self. And the perception of self is, who am I? What kind of person am I? The perception of others is, you wonder how others treat me. Do they validate how you see yourself? Okay. And then, of course, the perception of the future, which is it going to be good or is it going to be bad? A lot of us believe we are naturally have bad luck, and a lot of us believe we are pretty lucky. So, depending on which camp you fall in. Once the perception of self and the perception of others and the perception of the future come together, those form your core beliefs. Those core beliefs then build what's called automatic negative thoughts, or ants. Now, ants are quick and they're temporary, and we have to watch out for them because they can literally be these random negative thoughts that pop up in our heads, and they stem from our core beliefs. When we are taking this model and switching it over to discipline, then we can see how our core beliefs about discipline can actually come from our childhood. Your core beliefs can be adaptive or non-adaptive. Okay, your adaptive ones are, these help us to thrive. Okay, these are the ones that keep well balanced reactions. All right, your non-adaptive ones are the ones that lead to negative thoughts. Now, you can have both adaptive and non-adaptive core beliefs. So let's look at this in action. We're going to look at two people. Let's start first with someone who has non-adaptive views of discipline about a child. And they may, from their childhood, have absorbed, as a child, I am bad. Therefore, kids are bad. And a lot of people believe this, all right? The more I work with adults, I find that, and this is truly simplistic, but there's two camps. People who believe kids are bad and we have to pull them to the good side, and people who believe kids are good and sometimes make mistakes. Okay, so this person says kids are bad. All right, then the thought that comes with that is kids will be bad whenever they can. All right, the feeling that's going to arise from that is going to be anger. You're going to see misbehavior as intentional. You're going to see it as a means of intentionally being disrespectful or intentionally being bad. And your behavior is, you're going to be extremely punitive. You're going to be reactive because you're going to see that misbehavior as an intentional choice. In other words, they are looking to be as bad as they can. Okay? Okay. That's a non-adaptive, very simple view of discipline with kids. Now, let's look at someone who has an adaptive view. All right? So, someone told this person when they were younger, when they were little, mistakes happen. It's okay. And so their adaptive view of kids is, kids do good when they can. And this is actually where we get the phrase, everyone you meet is doing the best they can with the tools they have. Okay? So my adaptive view of a kid is, they do good when they can. And I got to remember, their brain is developing until the age of 26. They are learning this world. They are navigating a world I never lived in with technology and media. They are dealing with school and schedules and a lot more stresses on them. Their whole lives are basically public on social media. It's a lot going on. So, adaptive you. Kids do good when they can. So, the thought that's going to come out with is when needs are not met, kids can't do good. When they're tired, when they're stressed, when they're hungry, when they don't feel connected, when they don't understand what's going on, when the expectations are too high and their skill level is too low. Okay? That would be the thought. The feeling then would be curiosity. What need is not being met? You actually want to know what's going on, because if he could, he would. If he could be, quote, good, he would. So why isn't he? Why is there dysregulation? All right, stay with me. And then the behavior is that you're going to seek out what need is there to fill in the gap so that this child can achieve the behavioral expectation. And you're going to do it with the assumption, you ready for this? This is going to blow your mind, because I know how a lot of us are raised. You're going to do it with the assumption that he wants to. What? I know this is mind-blowing. I know probably 70% of you are thinking that I am an idiot and I'm naive. What if your non-adaptive core belief, okay, has you literally locked in? Because here's something that you have to know. Inside of you, without you even realizing it, you have an inner lawyer who is taking every piece of evidence I'm throwing at you, the world is throwing at you, that your core belief is false, and that lawyer is literally justifying it and telling you that everyone is wrong and you are right, because your brain is wired to cling to those core beliefs. All right, let's keep going. So here's what we know about our core beliefs, right? They're learned from lived experiences from childhood all the way up, and you are literally going to seek out evidence to prove them. They develop in childhood, usually from a stressful event or from trauma. And we're wired to ignore all the counter beliefs. These core beliefs are rigid and they're long-standing, but here's what you gotta know, because the brain is plastic. They can be changed. But the only way to change them is to be intentional about them and to be aware of them. Hope this helps.